It's the Michigan Football Report here on a Sunday. Want to make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel. We're blew past 12,000 subscribers, approaching 13,000 probably any day now. I'll have to check the numbers here in a second, but subscribe to the channel. This could be one of the most impactful weeks in the history of Michigan football off the field. Let me just tell you that. I've got a lot coming up here on Jim Harbaugh, the latest behind what's going on with his contract situation, and what Michigan might do if he decides to take an NFL job. Coming up on the Michigan Football Report right now. What is up, MFR'S? It is your host, James Yoder. Follow me on Twitter at James Yoder. Tell me you watch the show. If you watch the show, that means you're an MFR, MFR, the Michigan Football Report. We are going to get into the Jim Harbaugh contract situation, the NFL landscape, and what's being reported out there in the last 24 hours. Before we do, let's enjoy some pleasantries here. Comment Happy New Year below. It's a new year. We got 2020 behind us now. It's a tough year for a lot of us in a lot of different ways. Also a really tough year for the Michigan football program. So go on, comment Happy New Year below if you're hoping that 2021 a little bit better for Michigan and I guess the whole world than 2020 was. Let's take a look at the latest on Jim Harbaugh's future. So if you watch, I took a little time off between Christmas. Haven't put a lot of videos out. Been pretty active on Twitter though, so if you follow me there, you should have most of the scoop. But Jim Harbaugh has been in California, Southern California, where his ex-wife lives, where his kids, most of his kids went to high school, including Jay, his son, who's on Michigan's coaching staff, and reportedly has been laying low, right? Had a meeting with Ward Manuel a few weeks back, but now it's brass tacks. Tomorrow is the day that we've been waiting for as fans. I think it's the day Jim Harbaugh has been waiting for as a coach. So what I told you a week plus ago, Jim Harbaugh is going to be waiting, seeing what happens tomorrow. Bruce Feldman from Fox Sports, we'll talk about in a second, came out and said that Jim Harbaugh has a report to sign a 5-year deal. Let's kind of jump into it now, toss on the bottom of the screen. So Feldman came out yesterday, said there's optimism around Michigan, the Michigan program. I'm not sure who the optimism is about. Is it optimism that the contract will get signed, or is it optimism that Michigan should be optimistic about it? I don't know what he meant by it. I don't think anybody, if you saw the tweet, was optimistic. It was kind of where I told you a couple weeks ago. It was mostly ridicule about the fact that Jim Harbaugh would get a contract extension of 5 years the day after Michigan just saw their arch rival Ohio State absolutely obliterate Clemson going to the national title game. Ohio State also added a 5-star cornerback from Florida in the 2022 class yesterday. So he says the 5-year deal is imminent, that Michigan feels optimistic it's going to happen. I don't necessarily think that is accurate. I don't think Jim Harbaugh is telling Michigan that he is going to sign somewhere else. I don't think he has said, no, I'm not signing that deal. I think Jim Harbaugh is being agreeable just to kind of move the goalpost a little bit down, make sure he has the ability to see what offers are out there from the NFL over the next couple of days. So what I'm telling you here is that I think there is some interest, at least some interest here between Jim Harbaugh and the NFL, right? Jim Harbaugh has potentially the New York Jets, reported by the Detroit Free Press yesterday. The San Diego or the LA Chargers, I think that one would make most sense for his family and lifestyle situation if he wanted to get as far away from Ann Arbor as possible. I don't think the Detroit Lions, which is a rumor on Thursday and Friday, would make a lot of sense. But I think this whole reason why I've been sitting here for days, for weeks, it's actually been a couple months now, why the top story around Michigan football after the loss to Michigan State has been Jim Harbaugh's contract situation. I think he wanted to go to the day after the 2020 NFL season ended, which is tomorrow, see what coaches get fired. And he's put enough feelers out there from what I understand, and also the Detroit Free Press reported yesterday, which is nothing new if you've watched this show, that Jim Harbaugh is going to just see what the offers are out there. Now, if he gets a job offer, that doesn't mean that he is gone to the NFL, right? I believe that he's going to use his leverage. And in Harbaugh's mind, I think he could go either way, right? He doesn't want to leave Michigan in shame, getting fired in a year or two now if he signs a contract extension and then things don't go the right way, they have a losing season again, whatever it is. So I think Jim Harbaugh does see an opportunity that, hey, 2020 wasn't working out for me. Some things changed the way I perceive my coaching career, and this job came open in the NFL that I couldn't turn down. I'm going to be around the Michigan program in the future. I don't want to be that coach like Rich Rodriguez that no one wants to talk about anymore. I want to be welcome back, right? I want to be, come in a bye week and wave my hand at halftime with Tom Brady at a game and being a captain 10 years from now. I think that's what his hope is if he leaves the program in the next few years. And this might be the only opportunity he has because the stock hasn't gone down far enough where the NFL might not be interested anymore. But I'm going to ask you guys this question as I self-produce this show. Go down, predict Jim Harbaugh's job in 2021. I believe he will have a job in 2021. If Michigan is where he wants to be, they will take him back. But I think if it's an NFL job is out there, Jim Harbaugh might be interested in doing so. So go down, comment below. I'll pin this comment to the bottom of the video, and I want to see what you guys' answers are. I don't know. I might get my prediction later in the show, so keep on watching. But I want to make sure you guys know about this deal. Our BetUS 125% deposit bonus lives on through 2021. So go to chatsports.com/GoBlue. Get 125% to bet on sports, 125% deposit bonus to bet on sports with our partner BetUS. They've been with us all season long, so make sure to support them. Use them if you're going to bet on the NFL playoffs, with Ohio State, Alabama, NBA, March Madness, and got producer in my ear and my fake earpiece. Jersey deals back for the new year. So if you get going with BetUS, chatsports.com/GoBlue. Email us at goblue@chatsports.com, right there in the bottom of the screen to redeem your jersey. Don't go contacting BetUS. We're shipping it from you right here at Chat Sports. So again, 125% deposit bonus to bet on sports with BetUS. You see it right there at the bottom of the screen. Go chatsports.com/goblue and make sure you use that promo code GoBlue. Email goblue@chatsports.com to redeem your jersey. So what else do we know that's been going on with Jim Harbaugh? Well, he's been recruiting. Sierra Wright, I think I'm pronouncing his name, Sierra Wright, top 100 player in the 2021 class, committed yesterday. But what he's told multiple media outlets in the week prior to his son, or his dad told media outlets the week prior to his son committing yesterday to USC, was that Jim Harbaugh took his calls and that Jim Harbaugh told him as a parent of a high-level recruit considering Michigan in his final 3 to trust me, okay? Jim, why no contract? Are you coming back? I don't really want to send my son there. Trust me. So it might be a little egg on Harbaugh's face. Might look really bad in the eyes of some parents and some, basically everybody if he were to be saying that to players and play recruits' parents and then jump to the NFL. So that's just one interesting piece, little nugget out there that I found interesting. Wasn't enough because the kid committed to USC. How about this little nugget of information that's really being pushed by Rivals.com is that Joe Moorhead, the former offensive coordinator at Penn State in their 2 big seasons, 2016, 2017, went to Mississippi State, was an absolute disaster, right? Was fired, I think, in 2 seasons. Been out there at Oregon, new quarterback, 5 new offensive linemen, did okay, but I wasn't very impressed with what they did in the bowl game yesterday. Rivals.Wolverine.com is pushing Joe Moorhead. They're basically saying it's a guarantee that he's Michigan's new co-offensive coordinator, kind of giving Josh Gaddis a demotion if he stays on, which I'm not positive that he would, but Gaddis wouldn't be the play caller anymore, would be the passing game coordinator / wide receiver coach. Moorhead would be the true offensive coordinator. So if Harbaugh stays, and Rivals knows what they're talking about, remember, 5 weeks ago, these are the same guys that said Jim Harbaugh's 3-year deal was locked, done, confirmed, no questions asked. And we all know that wasn't true, and they just either made it up or had a bad source. I'm not sure. So they might have a good source in this one. It'd be interesting, but to tell you what, if you take away Saquon Barkley, I'm not sure what's that impressive about Joe Moorhead over the past 4 or 5 seasons. If you guys want to keep up on the latest on this situation, what happens with Harbaugh, the moment it happens, what the credible rumors are out there, make sure to follow me on Twitter at James Yoder. Tweet at me. Tell me you're an MFR. I'm following back still. So go ahead and do that. Twitter.com/James Yoder. Use the .com, no Twitter app, at James Yoder. That's a joke, of course. Go ahead and follow me there. Now, is Jim Harbaugh really a target candidate of interest for NFL teams? I say yes. And if you asked me 6 months ago, I would have said heck no. But when you hear about the coaches that are getting offers and interviews from NFL teams, why would an NFL team take some of these guys if Jim Harbaugh, who's been to 3 NFC title games, one of the top 10 winning percentage in the history of the NFL, only 4 seasons, I understand that. Why would you be interviewing guys like Marvin Lewis, like Jim Caldwell, like a dozen other guys that are going to get interviews here in the next few days? Now, the teams that are looking for coaches are interesting, right? You've got the Lions, the Falcons, the Texans. As we're recording this Sunday afternoon, are available to hire Jim Harbaugh right now. They've got no head coach. But the Chargers, I think, is the most likely outcome if Jim Harbaugh were to get an NFL offer and accept it. The Jets. Maybe, but I just don't think Jim Harbaugh wants to jump into that dumpster fire. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who reportedly are on the goal line with Urban Meyer. Colin Cowherd put out a tweet just an hour or so ago that says it's very interesting and it's about to heat up big time. So when the Jags game ends today, do we know by tonight if Urban Meyer is their new coach? Potentially. Others that I doubt are looking for coaches, but maybe. You never know in the NFL. The Broncos. Doubt he would take over for Vic Fangio, although he does have a good relationship with John Elway. The Bengals. I doubt that one. Coach of Ohio, State of Ohio, etc. And the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know. I don't know if necessarily they'd be looking for a coach, maybe. I don't know if that's the right job for Jim Harbaugh. But the interest, I think, is real. But I want to ask you guys this. Doesn't matter who the coach is, right? Predict Michigan's 2021 record down in the comments. They've got Washington next year, a couple, other out-of-conference games that they should win no matter who the coach or the personnel is. But I'm telling you what, I don't know if I see better than a 6-6 record based on what we saw on the field this year. Unless Cade McNamara becomes what he was in the second half against Rutgers, which, again, it was Rutgers, or J.J. McCarthy is the next Jake Fromm or Trevor Lawrence coming in as a true freshman and lighting the world on fire. I see a 6-6 season. And so, in my opinion, that puts us right back here where we are right now. Is Jim Harbaugh fired? Is he not fired? What's the buyout? So I don't know what Michigan's gaining by this with the team that's coming back. But if Harbaugh did leave for the NFL, what if, right? I've got a few candidates that I think are worthy of discussing right now before we wrap up the show that I'll go over. So who are the other candidates that could be in play for Michigan? It's got to be Matt Campbell, number one, right? We saw what he did at Iowa State this year. We saw what he did in a Fiesta Bowl game yesterday against Oregon, high-level performance. I like what I saw from Matt Campbell, Iowa State. His attitude, his culture, his offense, his defense. It reminds me a lot of ways in what I hope Michigan will be with just hopefully better players under Jim Harbaugh. So Matt Campbell's number one. I think Joe Brady goes back to number two for me if he would be willing to listen to college football job offers if he doesn't take a job in the NFL. Luke Fickell's still out there, although some questionable calls he made at the end of that game against Georgia. And then lastly, I had Steve Sarkisian as up there yesterday, but he's at Texas now. Also, Bob Stoops, still out there, not crazy old. Wouldn't be crazy to see him come back and be a part of a college football program like Michigan if he were to come out of retirement. We see what's happening with Urban Meyer. Maybe Bob Stoops will get the itch. But that's the show for today, folks. Want to make sure you guys hit this button here, subscribe to the channel. Haven't put a video out in a week or so, but I'll toss a video for you right here and right there, a couple of them to whet your appetite if you want more Michigan football news and rumors. Go Blue.